Properties in Kansas City are getting way too expensive and people are looking for a better value. Here are the top 10 most overrated areas in the Kansas City metro and where to buy a home instead. Number 1 overrated area is Prairie Village. In 2022, Prairie Village was awarded like Zillow's City of the Year or some type of award, and it caused a whole bunch of people to start looking into Prairie Village. And since then, prices have just skyrocketed up to the moon in Prairie Village. Now, Prairie Village is a wonderful place to live. It is absolutely gorgeous, beautiful houses, historic charm, easy shopping, easy access to downtown Kansas City and everything else that you could want. However, the median price point there in this past quarter was $504,000. Now, instead of buying in Prairie Village, you should buy in Roland Park. Roland Park in this last quarter, the median price point sold for $377,000. That's over $100,000 savings when compared to Prairie Village. Now let's look at 2 houses in each one of these areas so that you can compare what a similar budget would get you apples to apples in these 2 areas. Now, all of this is my personal opinion, obviously, as a real estate agent in Kansas City. And this isn't to say that these overrated areas are bad areas to live. The criteria for this is finding an area that can get you most of the amenities that you could get in the overrated area for a much cheaper price. Now, it's not going to be apples to apples. When you go to Roland Park, you are going to lose some amenities that you go get in Prairie Village. Let's check out 2 homes in these locations just to see what you can get. By the way, I have a sore throat. I've been talking a lot. I've been outside with my kids yelling a lot. So my voice is about to give out. I'm sorry. I hope that doesn't take away from the video. But anyways, let's take a look at this home in Prairie Village. So this home in Prairie Village is listed right now for $625,000. Now that is over the median price point of what house sold in Prairie Village for in the last quarter. However, this is the median price point of the homes on the market right now. $604,000 will get you this beautiful home on a beautiful lot in Prairie Village. I love the exposed beams. I actually could dig this wood paneling here is not bad at all. The fireplace is gorgeous. It looks like there's upgraded windows. I mean, it's got that kind of rustic old school charm, but I can tell that just by the pictures that there have been certain things that have been upgraded. The tile kitchen is definitely something that needs to be done, and these, I think, looks like Formica kitchen countertops are definitely a negative. But again, this is a beautiful home in Prairie Village. It is 16,000 square foot lot. The carpets probably do need to go. But as we compare this home to the home in Roland Park that we found for around the same price point, you're gonna find that you get a better value in Roland Park. I mean, this is completely outdated. Obviously, this needs to go. This bathroom needs to be redone. Yeah, these walls, I mean, that's a choice for you to paint it that way, obviously. But let's take a look at what you can get in Roland Park for around the same price point. So this home in Roland Park is slightly more expensive than that home in Prairie Village. However, you can see it is a much newer home. It's a new construction home built in the last 10 years. You get an immaculate front yard, nice gardening. You get the rustic front porch that a lot of people like nowadays. You've got over 3,000 square foot of living space in this one, 0.17 acres. Pretty cool fish tank. This kind of modern style opens up to dining room on the left, living room up front, kitchen tucked away in the back. So you can see that you get quite a bit more for your money in Roland Park than you do in Prairie Village. If you were to drop this home in Prairie Village, it probably goes for maybe $900,000, but because it's in Roland Park, it's in the high $600,000s to $700,000. So you're gonna get a much better value here than in Prairie Village, but of course you are going to lose certain amenities. The next overrated area is Belton, Missouri. Now, talking about the criteria, we're going to compare apples to apples. So we're not going to compare somewhere that's completely rural and way out there where you're going to find a lot of homes with acreage to homes that are specifically more located in subdivisions. We are going to try to see similar suburbs like Roland Park and Prairie Village right next to each other over on the Kansas side in Johnson County. We're going to keep it like for like, and we're not going to just, go diagonally across the metro to a place that's completely unrelated. So the next place that we're going to talk about is Belton, Missouri. And in Belton, Missouri, the median price point for a home was right around $298,000, but I think you can get most of the amenities that Belton has in Grandview, Missouri for a much cheaper price. In Q2 of 2025, the median price point of a home in Grandview was $239,000. So you can see that's a $50,000 savings just moving a little north, going from Belton to Grandview. Let's look at this home in Belton. It's a little bit over 2,000 square feet. On the market right now for just over $335,000. It's located in a subdivision. You got enough room to park your camper. You got a detached garage, which is always a nice plus. I have a detached garage myself. I actually really like it. You have this nice circle drive, which I think is a huge plus, so that you never have to pull backwards into traffic. You can just pull your nose out into traffic and just circle around. I think that's awesome. You've got this kind of courtyard area. Actually, this kind of reminds me of a backyard in California when they used to tell us to, rip out all our grass and put this kind of stuff down. But all of this for $335,000 on a decent sized lot in Belton, Missouri is what you're gonna get. The interesting thing about this one is you have a car lift, so mechanics, obviously this is going to be your dream. Now, one thing that you may or may not know about buying property is when you buy property, you are buying the land and everything that's attached to the land. So you can see this is bolted down. This car lift would stay unless the seller specifies that they are going to take it with them. My best guess is that when you buy something like this, it's probably going to have more value to a very, very specific buyer than the general public. I would have no idea what to do with this car lift in my garage. In fact, it would be kind of annoying for me because I would be wondering where I'm going to park my car. So obviously it's very custom built to a specific buyer. And so when you look at this home in Belton, not only does it have a pretty cool outside, not only does it have an awesome garage, but it also has a pretty nice inside as well. A little bit dated, probably could use some new carpet, has a nice dining area. Again, 2,000 square feet of living space. It's got a beautiful kitchen, but let me show you what you could get for a similar price point in Grandview, Missouri. So when you move up north to go to Grandview, you are getting this 3,000 square foot home that is massive, 2-car garage. So much bigger, 1,000 square feet bigger for the same price than you would be paying for that one home in Belton. And pretty nicely done, very much immaculate. It's a 6-bedroom, 4-bath home. The other one was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. So you're getting a lot of space, a formal dining room for your shared dinners. Probably not the best kitchen. The fridge is a little bit outdated. Looks like Formica countertops, but that can all be done. It looks relatively spacious there. You've got your hearthside room that does have a wood burning stove. I think those are really cool. Provide really good warmth for your house during the winter. This bathroom is, pretty mid. I would say it's not anything really nice. It's not anything really ugly. Decent sized rooms, and this looks like the primary bedroom, and I think what this is probably an investor bought this and put a little bit of upgrades in it and are just trying to sell it for a slight profit. So you can see that you're getting better value in Grandview. However, you are giving up some of the school systems. I would say is one of the cons. No, I would say a plus in living in Grandview, you're just a little bit closer to the city. If you want to be out towards the country, for you, that actually might be a con. So moving on to the next place. Speaking of being out in the country, we are going all the way up north to Kearney, Missouri. In Kearney, the median price point of a home in this last quarter was $449,000, so almost $450,000. If you like Kearney, there are 2 places that I would consider in the Kansas City metro. The first one is Holt, Missouri. It's adjacent to Kearney, and homes there were going for $435,000. You're not saving much, you're saving $10,000, but it's going to be a little bit more rural than Kearney. Kearney's getting pretty developed now. Or if you want to save a lot of money and you want to stay in the northeast quadrant of the Kansas City metro, then consider Excelsior Springs. You can get a home there for $240,000. That's the median price point of a home in Excelsior Springs. Let's see what's on the market in Kearney right now and compare it to Holt and Excelsior Springs. So in Kearney, you can buy this 1,600 square foot new construction for $450,000. This is located in a place called Noah's Landing. I've actually been there quite a few times. Almost had a buyer buy one of these homes that was a new construction in Kearney. So these are well done. I think this is a reverse 1.5. Don't quote me on that. Actually, it just might be a ranch style home, but you can see brand new everything. Don't have to worry about maintaining it on 0.25 of an acre. So it's a pretty spacious lot. It's located in a pretty well built up subdivision. And people who live in Kearney absolutely love it. They love the schools. They love the closeness to the country. They love being out in nature. There's plenty of things to do in Kearney if you like to be outside. You do have to drive a little bit into the city in order for you to enjoy the amenities of the city, but with Holt and Excelsior Springs, it's going to be about the same thing. So let's look at what you can get in Holt for around the same budget. So in Holt, not only do you get a slightly bigger home, the other new construction was 1,600 square feet. This one is about 1,900 square feet. But not only does it come with that, it also comes with 5 acres of land. So if you want extra land in Holt, of course, this is an older home. It's not new construction. You're going to want to do a property inspection. Not that you want to skip a property inspection with new construction either, but this home was built in 2010. But if you want acreage, then this is the place to go. 5 acres is a lot of land. I meet people frequently who come from places that don't have any acreage, like California, like New York, and for them, 5 acres is a massive piece of land. Now, if you grew up on 40 acres, this may seem extra small to you, but for most people, 5 acres is plenty. If you find content like this super helpful to your Kansas City home search, then give us a call, 816-4MOVE-KC. Call us, text us, email us. We will get back to you within 24 hours. We love hearing from you, our audience, and we especially love it when we can help one of you relocate here to the Kansas City Metro. 816-4MOVE-KC. Now let me show you what you can get in Excelsior Springs for around the same price. Okay, so in Excelsior Springs for about $450,000, remember that new construction in Kearney, you have this massive 3,500 square foot home, 4 beds, 3 full baths, 1 half bath on a 22,000 square foot lot. It's at the end of a cul-de-sac, a little bit outdated. I actually, personally, you know what? I like the oak. Some buyers that I have like the oak, some people don't. I like the exposed beams. It's not structural, by the way, but I like the exposed beams. I like the casement windows. I love the openness to the kitchen area. I think all of this is pretty fantastic. Built-ins are always a big thumbs up for me, like that as well. The catwalk, I can picture my kids throwing their, parachute army men off of that catwalk and watching them float down. Tons of value in this house with a huge kitchen area. So for $450,000, you could get this very large kitchen area with this island as well, eat-in area, formal dining room. You get a ton of stuff. Of course, it is going to be an older home, but still for $450,000, you are getting quite a bit of home. That's double, actually over double what you're getting with the new construction in terms of square footage. So let's move on. Pleasant Hill. Pleasant Hill is in the southeast quadrant of the Kansas City Metro. It's in Jackson County, and homes there are selling for $375,000 median price point in 2025, according to the latest data. Now, if you want to stay within the same area, consider Greenwood, Missouri. Still great schools, still kind of rural, a little bit out there, but homes in Greenwood are selling for around $332,000. Of course, that's going to be a $40,000 savings if you just go off the median price point of a home, but let's look real life, apples to apples, which you can get in Pleasant Hill compared to Greenwood. So in Pleasant Hill, you get this 1,700 square foot, pretty run-of-the-mill 2010 build that is on a half an acre lot, so actually pretty big, bigger than standard, nicely upgraded walnut cabinets with the pantry, the kitchen island. All of this is really nice. I like that kind of fireplace protrusion that can kind of warm the eat-in kitchen and also the living room. I think that's a huge plus. Pretty awesome design right there. You got a large living room area. I really like that fireplace. Every time I see that, I'm like, dude, you could picture yourself throwing a party in there where somebody's eating, enjoying the fire, and somebody's on this side, just relaxing, watching television, playing a board game, enjoying the fire as well. Really like that. Seems cozy. You got the recessed TV area, and then also you've got 3 ample-sized bedrooms with 2 full bathrooms and a half bath. This is the primary bathroom and the primary bedroom, laundry area, and the bedrooms as well, with a downstairs living area. So let's see what you can get for a similar price in Greenwood, Missouri. For Greenwood, for slightly cheaper, you get the same kind of home with the same kind of build with slightly more square footage. So this one has about 200 to 300 more square feet, just a different style depending on whether you like the one in Pleasant Hill or you like the one in Greenwood. It's hard to make an apples to apples comparison, but all I know is that the median price points here are going to be cheaper in Greenwood than they are going to be in Pleasant Hill. So this is a newer kitchen. It looks like they painted the countertops, and they have either quartz or granite countertops, which is a nice upgrade. New stove, new appliances, similar eat-in area, very similar home with a similar square footage and a similar design. Ooh, you've got a fireplace in one of the primary bedrooms. I think that's a nice plus as well. You've got a nicely refinished bathroom with the rainfall shower head, which I always think is a really cool thing to have. If you like Lee's Summit, you're probably there because of the family-friendly atmosphere, the schools, the proximity to the metro. You can find all of that in Blue Springs, Missouri for much, much cheaper. The median price point of a home out in Blue Springs is $327,000. So let's take a look at what you can get in Lee's Summit right now compared to what you can get in Blue Springs. So in Lee's Summit, this home is listed for $525,000. It is about 3,000 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths, 1 half bath, newer construction in a well-developed subdivision. Really beautiful kitchen. You've got the pantry that I really enjoy. I like this built-in desk area. Honestly, I probably would never use it because I would need a much bigger setup, but I think this is always a nice thing to have if you're not a tremendous, desk person and you have, a few bills to pay or something like that. This is a great plus. But you have your dedicated laundry area, your primary bedroom that is very, very large with a beautiful primary bathroom. You've got a very large walk-in closet as well. Of course, you got a completely finished basement, which is a huge plus. And then as we move on, you can see that you also have more room to add on if you wanted to add square footage. So as we consider Blue Springs, for the same price, with a slightly older home, you are getting 500 more square feet. So this one is about 3,500 square feet, up 500 square foot from the 3,000 one. But of course, you got this large, beautiful walnut cabinets in your kitchen. I actually like where this dishwasher is placed right next to the sink out in the middle. I kind of like sinks that are on islands. It's not truly an island, but you get kind of what I mean. Dedicated laundry area. This is your living room. Dedicated formal dining room. And then you've got quite large primary bedroom with a very, very ample walk-in bathroom. And these bedrooms do look pretty big. This is the hall bathroom on the main level. Blue Springs ranks slightly higher than Lee's Summit in schools, but you're going to get better value in Blue Springs than you will in Lee's Summit. Number 5 is Baser, Kansas. People move to Baser again because they want to be out in a rural area. So of course, given the parameters of this list, we're going to compare same things to same things. We're not going to compare Baser to like a very, portioned off subdivision like Gladstone. We're going to compare Baser to Bonner Springs. Now, what's interesting about Bonner Springs is that it is one of the only areas in the metro that is located in 3 separate counties. So there are 6 main counties to the Kansas City metro, and on the Kansas side you have Wyandotte County, Leavenworth County, and Johnson County. Now if you go further south, you can get into Miami County. That's a little bit farther out of my jurisdiction, but if you're looking at those three counties, Bonner Springs sits in kind of the triangle in between them and is located partly in Wyandotte, partly in Leavenworth, and partly in Johnson County. So when you buy a house in Bonner Springs, you're going to want to see exactly which county you're located in. But in Baser, homes were selling for $470,000. And people are moving there because of the land, people are moving there because of the schools, people are moving there because they want to be out rural. Now, Bonner Springs is also good for being out rural, but for much, much cheaper. Almost $100,000 cheaper, in that Bonner Springs homes come in at $390,000. With the median price point at $390,000, we're going to try to compare Baser and Bonner Springs. This home is located in Baser for the median price point of homes on the market right now, which is $480,000. It is over 3,200 square feet, and it is a newer construction. You've got this massive yard, and I really do like that patio. You've got a covered area so that you can sit in the rain, and also the fire pit on it. I think that's actually really cool. You've got these modern looking cabinets and really nice looking floors. I like the kitchen island that you can put stools underneath that. My kids love sitting at the stools at the kitchen island and having their breakfast. So I like the design of the kitchen. I do like the color of the cabinets, and I like the built-ins to match over on the mantle and near the fireplace. It looks like pretty ample sized bedrooms, and I also like it too when the themes of the kitchen cabinets carry through the primary bedroom as well. But let's see what you can get in Bonner Springs for a similar price. Now, I do know that this house isn't going to be apples to apples. One of the reasons is because it is very hard to find a house in Bonner Springs that compares, because there's such little inventory. But this house is actually more than the house in Baser. But what you are getting is you are getting less square footage, but you're getting almost 10 acres with a pond that is stocked with fish. So you've got a large piece of land where they do have outbuildings, and you can build more outbuildings if you want. Now, with a piece of land this big, you might even be able to hunt on your land. You can do really whatever it is that you want on your land, because 10 acres is going to afford you a ton of privacy. Now, of course, what you're giving up with those 10 acres is that you are getting a slightly more outdated house, but if you're willing to give that up in order to have the peace and tranquility of living out on acreage, then this is going to be the place that you're going to want to go. Moving on to Leawood, Kansas. Leawood is one of the most desirable areas in the metro because it is known for being one of the most luxurious. Not only does it have the highest median price point homes in all of the Kansas City metro, it is one of the most sought after areas to live. Leawood, Overland Park, Prairie Village, all of these areas are going to be very highly sought after, especially when you get closer to the $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 homes. Expect to still be in a bidding war. Expect to have people put in multiple offers on a home in Leawood, in Overland Park, in Prairie Village. Now, in Leawood, the median price point of the homes that sold in Q2 of 2025 was $750,000. Now, if you want to live in Leawood, then you should also consider Prairie Village. Now, yes, I know I said Prairie Village was our number 10 area that was overrated in the Kansas City metro, but if you want everything that Leawood has to offer, but you want it much cheaper, then go to Prairie Village. And if you want to go to Prairie Village, but you still can't afford it, then go to Roland Park. I think that's kind of how the progression should go. So in Prairie Village, you're dropping all the way down to $500,000 to $4,000. Let's see a home in Leawood that's listed for $915,000. It is 6 bedrooms. It is a massive home, over almost 5,000 square feet. And it is on a pretty big lot, 22,000 square foot lot. I like these cobblestones. I feel a little bit torn about the koi pond. I think that's, an extra line item for your house for maintenance. I do really like this covered deck. I would use this all the time. This fire pit is fantastic. Nice little secluded, beautifully manicured fire pit. You've got a really great basketball hoop in the front yard. And the house simply looks absolutely stunning. I think just by looking at it, this is a great value, a great place to live, but you are going to be paying close to $1 million to live here. Compare that to a home in Prairie Village. Yes, this home is a little bit smaller. It is 2,000 square feet, but it is brand new and it has all the modern amenities and accoutrements. I love that big sliding door. Looks like a French door, but probably slides. I really do like that mantle and fireplace. And then also, I do love this really large kitchen island. This Eden area is also a fantastic area for you to host. And then downstairs, you have a basement that is a walkout basement. So while this might be a little bit smaller, you do have a brand new home in Prairie Village compared to an older home in Leawood. Now, moving on with the list, you have Riverside. Riverside is one of the hottest areas, just like Leawood, just like Prairie Village. But in Riverside, you're going to expect to pay $582,000 for the median home in Riverside. Now, if you like the Riverside area, you like the great Park Hill School District, you love the proximity to downtown Kansas City, literally there are some places in Riverside where you're just about 10 minutes away to downtown Kansas City. So in Riverside, it's a very easy trip, but if you like all of that, then you're also going to enjoy Parkville, and you're going to pay much less to live in Parkville than you are going to pay to live in Riverside. In Parkville, the median price point of a home there is $510,000 compared to the $582,000 that you're going to pay in Riverside. A Riverside example of a home is going to be sitting on almost 2 acres, and this is over a 4,000 square foot home with an ADU, which is a really cool addition to have with a home like this. I don't know how modern those cabinets are, but at least they look pretty clean. You've got a game room down in the basement, completely finished. You've got a large vaulted bedroom with large ceilings, and all of this sits on almost 2 acres. Now, if you're gonna move over to Parkville, this is what you're gonna get there. In Parkville, yes, for this comparison, you're sacrificing on land and you're slightly sacrificing on square footage, but you are getting a brand new home on the 14th hole of the National Golf Course. And this type of home, very contemporary, very modern. You won't have to worry about really anything, and this is still 3,000 square feet of living space. This is a beautiful home, and if you love to play golf like I do, living on the National is going to be a very exclusive, very sought after area to live. Extremely modern, extremely angular. Whether or not you like all of that is up to you, but you are going to have a home that should last you for a long time without you having to fix things and without you having to tweak things. And for me, I do like this contemporary design. Whether or not you do, of course, that's dealer's choice. That's really up to you. But regardless of whether you like this or other older styles of home, 816-4-MOVE-KC is our number. We would love to chat with you about your upcoming move to Kansas City. Now we move to our number 2 area, which is Linwood, Kansas. The median price point of a home in Linwood is $579,000, and people want to be in Linwood because of the land. These rural areas are growing like crazy, and people are going out there because they want peace and quiet, escape from the city, all of that. Now, it's hard to find a home in Linwood that would really compare, so I found this $1.1 million beautiful home that is over 3,000 square feet that sits on 2.5 acres. So you can see very modern, very contemporary design. It is a beautiful reverse 1.5. I've seen this design many times before, but you are going to be paying for the land and you're going to be paying for the home. Now, if you want to live in Linwood, I would tell you to go to Lansing, Kansas. And in Lansing, you're going to get most of the amenities that you would get in Linwood, a little bit farther out, closer to Leavenworth, and you're going to pay on median only $385,000. Let's see a home in Lansing, Kansas, and let's see what you can get there. So for less than $1 million, you are going to get also a brand new construction on 3 acres this time, but this sits on the top of a hill. It is a beautiful looking home, and you have plenty of living space, a little bit more than the home in Linwood. In fact, this is almost 5,000 square feet. You can see this massive great room with the vaulted ceilings that continues on into the kitchen. Man, this is a sweet house. 4 bedrooms, 5.5 full baths, and over 5,000 square feet, or almost 5,000 square feet of living space, I should say. So you're getting quite a better value when compared to Linwood, but you're also getting very same amenities. So this is a great home, a great area. I mean, this is they label this as the exercise room, but really this is the primary closet where you also have laundry in the closet as well, which is a huge luxury, a huge flex. So if you like Linwood, go to Lansing. And finally, we get to our number 1 area. And what else could it be except for Overland Park, Kansas? In Overland Park, you are buying homes at a median price point of $500,000. Now, Overland Park has the best school district in the Kansas City Metro, the Blue Valley School District. Overland Park has all the amenities that you could ever need. You don't ever need to leave Overland Park. However, Overland Park is getting very expensive. It was rated like number 4 on niche.com's best places in the United States to live. So that's why prices there are creeping up and up and up. But if you want most of the amenities that Overland Park has to offer, but you want a fraction of the price, then you're going to want to consider Shawnee, Kansas. Shawnee, Kansas is north of Overland Park. It's quite a large area as well, and there are some areas in Shawnee that you can actually get pretty close to downtown Kansas City. You're only 10 to 15 minutes away from downtown Kansas City, whereas in Overland Park, you're going to be a lot farther down. Overland Park is such a long, large area, but in Overland Park, let's take a look at what you can get and compare it to what you can get in Shawnee. So in Overland Park, you have this almost 4,000 square foot home that's 4 beds, 3 full baths, that was built in 2001, got these beautiful windows with the fireplace that, again, kind of like that Blue Springs home gets, I think it was the Lee Summit home actually, gets both sides, the kitchen side and also the living room side, which I think is a really cool aesthetic design. That probably is a gas fireplace that flips on that turns on with the flip of a switch. You've got this sitting area along with this nicely updated brand new kitchen. And so for an Overland Park home, this is great value. This is going to be exactly what you get, and it's going to be a great home for you. However, if you want to save some money, then you're going to want to go over to Shawnee, because for about $740,000, you can get a bigger home, over 5,000 square foot, on a bigger lot, also built 10 years newer. So this is a 2010 home compared to the 2001 home. You've got this huge cathedral-like ceilings with those ginormous windows that let in a ton of natural light. Honestly, home to home, I would choose this home over the Overland Park home. But really, it's to your own. If you want the good schools, better schools in Overland Park, go ahead and choose that. But I think Shawnee, this home in Shawnee, is a great value if you want to be in Johnson County and you want to be close to the city without sacrificing too many of the amenities that Overland Park has to offer. Was there an area that I missed? If so, drop it in the comments and then click on this video right now.